And we are live.
Yes, we are
We
live.
are.
Absolutely, the very first of its kind, 2022. Oh my God, 2021 is way behind us. And here we are, 2022. We are healed, we are happy, healthy, and we bless God for yet another opportunity. And here we have good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of our viewers across the globe, wherever you are, joining us in and watching us live on this special day. It's the very first of its kind for us. And of course, I am not doing this alone. I have ladies of amiable virtue also joining me live this hour. Adebola Kolawole all the way from New York, Mutunrayo Emily from Houston, Texas, and of course, Omolara Oti from Houston, Texas. Happy New Year, everyone out there. Compliment of the season. It's 2022. We are thankful. Our heart is filled with gratitude.
Yes,
We are
gratitude.
trusting God, that we will go forth even in greater stride, greater might for the year 2022. And so, if you're joining us on this particular episode, go ahead and just let us know wherever you are joining us in from. And just like it's another episode of our series, Creating Passive Income Streams. If we can, you can. And today we're starting it on. We're setting the right and appropriate tone, and we're talking about goals. Every one of us will probably have been, at the beginning of every new year, people said, New Year resolutions, and people say, let's set our goals. Hey guys, we do not want to sound like broken bottles here. Neither are we sounding like it's a cliche, but we want to make sure we do things right. We want to make sure for our followers, for our viewers, we want to make sure we create, we put in value, right? For you. That way you can run off 2022 on a great stride. And today, I'm going to be having this conversation with my, business partners also here join on this hour. And we're going to be talking about what are those things we need to do to set goals? What are those things when we say we're setting goals? What exactly do we mean? When we say we're setting goals, what are the tools available out there that we can use, that you can use, that any one of us probably listening to us could also leverage upon and will become, very useful for you in the year 2022? And in no particular order, I'm going to ask Adebola. Adebola, can you please tell our viewers? We hear the word vision boarding, we hear the word write down your goals in pen and pencil, and some people will just be like, you know what, it's okay, I don't have to put down any goals. Can you please tell our viewers vision boarding? What is that all about? What can we learn from that? What are the nuggets? Have you experienced it? Have you used it? Please go ahead and share with the audience.
All right, thank you, Modupe, and hello, everybody. Not to waste our time, uh, we all know that setting goal is very important. I've come to realize that setting goal is very important, and when you have your goal written down, that's another level of planning to achieve that goal. I've come to realize, I've learned over the years, I've seen the result of writing down your goals and not just having it, oh, I know what I want, or I know what I want to achieve, or I have it in my mind or something. You need to write down the goal. There is a greater percentage that you're going to be able to achieve that goal when you write it down.
Mm,
Vision boarding is another way of visualizing your goal. Maybe you want to create something to show that, okay, these are the things that I want to achieve this year. You want to put it up, not just writing it in a book or in a journal. You want to put it up somewhere on your wall. You want to put graphics or just visual, something that you can see each day and say, okay, this is what I want this year. I've been able to achieve this. This hasn't come. What do I have to do? How can I, do better? What are the steps I should take so that I can work towards this other goal? So those are, that's what vision body is all about. Writing down your goal, then make it, visualizing it, putting it somewhere, write it on a board, write it on a paper, put it on your wall, put it somewhere that you can be able to see it every day, on your desk, in your bag, somewhere you can see it. So that is what vision boarding is. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you, Adebola. Thank you for, touching base on that particular tool, vision boarding. And yeah, it's worked for a lot of us here. Time will not permit me to kind of, tell our audience how, this vision boarding has worked in our own individual lives, even in our businesses, personal life, business life, and even in other, facet of our lives. And we are doing well, with that. Again, we set those goals, and then we're visualizing it every day. We're walking it. We're kind of breathing it. We're eating it. We're more like drinking it, and then it runs with us across time. Now, I'll quickly want to kind of switch gear a little bit, and I know we talked about setting goals, and so just because we also just don't want to sound like a broken bottle, like I mentioned earlier, and so there is this acronym, and probably a lot of us have heard about this before. It's not new to any one of us, but I want to make sure that this resonates with us. We want to now speak, to this particular acronym and be specific, and then bring in life examples. And so the acronym is nothing but SMART, SMART, SMART. Now, we're trying to make sure we set these goals, and we're calling it out and say that, let your goals be SMART. Let them be SMART goals. And my S will stand for specific, meaning, whatever goal I'm setting out, I don't want to make sure it's vague. I want to make sure, it's something I can relate to, something is very specific, right? I'm saying, and I say, by the end of the year, I just don't want to say I want to be educated. I want to say that at the end of the year, I want to probably maybe already have my master's degree. So I'm calling it that I'm very specific. So perhaps I already have the prerequisite, that will enable me get that master's. So that's, an example of that, being very specific. Now, I'm going to call on Motunrayo. Motunrayo, when we're saying goals should be specific, how can you help our audience to, help them while they are putting their goals together? And I've talked about specificity. What else can you talk about in line with specificity?
All right. Thank you so much. And you know what? We all need this. We all need this time and this opportunity to just gear us up so that we buckle down to some seriousness. Because when we talk about goals, when we talk about setting goals, having your New Year resolution, at that point in time, the first day of the year or a day before, we all are in the spirit, we are in the mood to just say things and all of that. But like Adebola rightly said, okay, if you want something, if you desire something, okay, don't just say it. Put it down in writing, not just in one place, in various places, okay? Your kitchen, your fridge, your freezer, your mirror. As
I
you
like
put
that.
on your lipstick in the morning, in your mirror in the
Aggressive.
bathroom, as you shave in the morning, you'll be seeing it. And you will not just be seeing it, your mind will be constantly there. You'll be praying about it. Okay? Now, how can you write something down when you don't, if you don't have it specific? You can be educated on anything, right? You can get education from anywhere. Going to an elementary school is getting education, right? Getting educated. But when you are specific that, okay, I want to have my master's, like you rightly said, at this particular time, what then you ask yourself, what do I need to do to get to my master's?
And then you
How
start working towards it.
intentional are you? How specific are you? Because if you're not specific, you won't be so intentional. You won't be so, um,
Deliberate.
deliberate in moving towards that goal. So you need to be specific. Everybody wants to be successful. So in that line, you look at the broader picture. Where do you see yourself? Say in the next 10 years. Now you bring it down. Where you see yourself in the next 10 years. What do you have to do in 2022 in line with where you see yourself in 10 years? Right? Then you bring that down, be specific, break those goals of your 2022 down into quarters, into months. That is you being specific, and you will see that it will be easier for you to achieve them. And you break them down to what you can do on a daily basis, the next 24 hours to reach your goal at the end of the year. Okay? Right. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you, Motoraya. You know, one of the things that kind of thrills me when you started, I mean, explaining specificity, you know, to our audience is that then you kind of you said have it everywhere, and I'm like, okay, that is so aggressive. And to be honest, folks, you know, I mean, we've got to kind of like be very aggressive with our goals because if we don't, things will slide.
Yeah.
And we're no longer in that particular, you know, pedestal where we want things to slide any longer. We are no longer in that particular, you know, atmosphere. And then we're just saying, you know, let it slide. If I don't get it, I don't get it. You know what? If you don't get it, you'll get it because either you're doing it or you're doing it. So there is no room for, you know, mediocrity. There is no room for, you know, just saying, nah, it didn't happen this month. Maybe next month I'm probably not just going to do it anymore. No, we are so gone with that. And this is a new phase. This is a new year. Consistency is going to pay us. Perseverance is going to really come to play. We just have to be specific with our goals. Remember, I was taking us through the acronym of SMART, right? I talked about specific. Now, we move on to M, and that's measurable. Now, so when we're setting those goals, we want to make sure that we could measure them. And Motoraya kind of, you know, already touched base on that as well. We want to make sure that we can measure those goals. And when I say measure, I'm not saying you're getting a scale now and putting them on the scale, okay? Okay, that's not what I really literally mean. Because of course, those goals could probably be maybe in your personal life. It could also be maybe in your business. Maybe you're probably listening to us and you're thinking, you know, I want to start a business of my own. What kind of business are you starting? Because when you just say, I want to start a business, that is so vague. Do you want a mom and shop? Do you want to start a digital business just like us? What type of business are you referring to? Now, how are you going to be able to measure that? Maybe you never had experience on the online space. And then maybe you're thinking, oh, maybe because of the tools, right? For instance, our business line provides us with those tools, those training, which we could leverage on. Maybe you're not measuring it up and saying, you know what, by this time, I want to be able to, you know, get on these tools, understand what I'm doing. I would have reached this particular milestone in my business. Like that is called measurable. And because Motoraya kind of already mentioned that, I will move on to the next acronym, which is what achievable. Now, when we are setting those goals, folks, we hear every now and then we say, you know what, make your goals when you're dreaming, and if your dream is not so big, then you probably need to go back to bed. Get back into that duvet and start the dream all over. When it comes to the world of achievable, we want to make sure that those goals we are setting, we could also achieve it. These are dreams, you know, I mean, these are goals that, you know, they are not like, oh my gosh, out of the world. Take, for instance, you're earning 30,000 maybe per annum, quote and unquote. This is just a scenario. And then you put down a goal and say, you know what, by the end of this year, I want to start earning $5 million. Maybe it's possible, maybe it's not, right? But again, what we are trying to say is that whenever we're setting those goals, let us make sure they are achievable. Because when they become overly, you know, I mean, like way out of your space or your sphere of influence, then it might become impossible. And then it keeps driving you down. You're like, you know what, nah, literally you're setting yourself up for failure. So I'm going to throw it back to Omolara. We're talking about achievable. And in the line, still in the same light of, you know, setting goals and whatnot. In your own experience, when we set goals and we want to make sure those goals are achievable, what nuggets can you pass out to our audience?
Thank you so much, Modupe. I'm glad to be here today.
Thank
you. So when you set a goal for yourself, you need to achieve it, right? For you to achieve it, like you said, it has to be measured. If you measure your goal, I mean, everybody has said it all. Like you want to do something, and maybe you want to achieve, you want to start a business, right? And you don't have the capacity, you don't have the tools, you don't have anything to start up with. Will you just jump into the business? No. You need to make research to see, okay, how can I achieve this business? It might not be business, it might be anything. Say you want to get married. Let me just use this as an example. Like you want to get married, you're giving yourself a target that, okay, in the next 6 months, you want to get married. Okay, then you need to ask yourself first, okay, what are the things Am I okay? Myself, you need to work on yourself. Am I a house material, a housewife material? First, number one. Then second, okay, do I have what it takes to be a wife? Not just a wife, to be a good wife. Then number three, you need to ask yourself again, okay, do I have, I mean, before you can get married, you need to get into a relationship. Do you have somebody you are dating? Not just somebody, a God-fearing someone you're dating, because you don't want to go into a marriage in the next 6 months and pull out and say, oh, in the next 1 year, oh, I'm divorced. No. So you need to set a standard smart goal for yourself. You need to achieve it. How can you achieve it? You need to take steps, right? Take steps. Write it down like Motrayo said. If you want to have it in your kitchen, in your bathroom, fine. It happens to me. Before I was able to like, okay, I want to achieve this thing. I've been having it in my mind that, okay, oh, in next year, 2022, I want to become this, I want to do this. But because I have it in my mind, I didn't have it I didn't have it out. I didn't outline it out like, okay, this is something I'm seeing every day. For you to achieve it, you need to see it every day. You need to work on it every day and say to yourself, okay, if I'm seeing this thing every day, what I've outlined every day, I mean, what I've outlined out, if I'm seeing it every day, then I will have that mind. I'll have what's it called? I will be able to walk towards it. Because if you don't have it visually, it's like you having it has to be a visual thing. So if you don't have it, there is no way you can achieve it. All right. So what you need to do is like get your vision board, like we said, write it out and analyze whatever you want in your goal as your goal for that year. I mean, let's look at it in another way, right? We said, okay, year 2020 is a new year, new resolution. But come to think of it, I'm sorry, 2022, I'm sorry, 2022, I want to have a new resolution. But let's think about it. Come to think of it, do we really have to wait for that new year to come before you set a new goal, standard goal for yourself? No. We're talking about if we want to have a business, right? We are all business owner. When I saw this business, I saw the opportunity in November. I didn't wait till January of the following year before I start this business. But because I have it in mind that I want to have a change, I want to quit some of my job and have a stable income, have a passive income, then I switch. I make my focus. It has to do with focus. What are you focusing on? So I made my focus on, okay, I want to start a business, but because I saw the opportunity and because I have it in my mind, because I have it written somewhere that, okay, I'm going to start a business or something I can do on the side. Instead of me doing 2-3 jobs, I want to cut down on that. So because I have that in my mind, so I focused on it and I worked towards it. And because I saw the opportunity in November, I didn't wait till January of the following year to take that step. So I took that step in November and I was able to achieve it.
Great.
So without you taking a step, there is no way you can achieve it. That's all I have.
Thank you. That's bold, Omolara, right there. You want to know what? I just want for you, audience. You know what? Just check out this space, okay? These ladies here are not playing and joking at all, right? You could hear Omolara said she was so bold and she didn't have to wait till January, right? And say, you know what? I am doing it. I have found it. I am moving on. Nothing is stopping me. What does the Bible say? It says, from the time of John the Baptist, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent taketh it by force. So for those of you who are out there, I want to start taking things by force. This is for you. While you're setting those goals, make sure, right, that you're really reaching out, that you're really, really, setting those things and be very fierce when it comes to you, now executing those things. When it comes to you making those steps to achieving your goals. Now, on the line of the next acronym, and that will be my R, which stands for being realistic. So meaning that those goals which we're setting, we want to make sure they are realistic. We want to make sure those are the goals, right? You're not setting things and it's like, okay, you're setting a goal for instance, for your business, and then you're putting in plans or steps that is really outside of even that sphere, I mean, that's not going to be, it's not going to enable you to achieve that particular goal. So when you're making sure that those goals are realistic, you're making sure that when you set it out, those steps you have in line to achieve that is those things that will be able to meet up with that objective, that primary objective, and you're not going outside of the line. And Adebola, can you please also just, chime on that particular word realistic when it comes to setting goals to our audience?
All right. There's this thing that I came across, and I'm just going to read it out, based on that particular acronym, realistic. It says you should set a goal that is challenging, but that you also truly believe you can accomplish. So it's challenging, but you can accomplish it. You are not going to set a goal that, oh, it's big, but it's not something that you may not be able to accomplish. You have to be realistic about it. Being realistic is still like sort of match up with attainable, achievable. It has to be something that is realistic, something that that you can accomplish. At the same time, it needs to be challenging. It's not just anything. Okay, you can set a goal. Oh, I want to be able to buy maybe food in my house. We always do that, or something. It has to be a goal that will bring about a change. That will bring about a difference. And the fact of it being challenging is because if it's too easy, if it's too something you can achieve easily, then it's really nothing. So you need to challenge yourself even in making your goals, in putting your goals together. So you should set a goal that is challenging, but that you can also you believe that you are able to accomplish. It says that if it doesn't require growth or extra effort to achieve, then it's too easy. So in setting goals, we're also challenging ourselves to do better. We're challenging ourselves to move from one level to another. We don't just want to keep doing things the same way we've been doing it. That's just like adjusting to a comfort zone. You want to come out of that and do better, and just realize the ability in you, the things that you are capable of doing if you put your mind to it.
Thank you, Adebola. I like the word when you kind of mentioned and you said we have to kind of embrace challenge. For instance, so not necessarily, because if I'm not embracing challenge, then I'm literally just in my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Then I'm not ready to change that habit. So I'm just like, okay, this is status quo for me, and that's it, and that's it. But that's not what we're saying, because we've already, educated our audience in time past, and we've told them, being in your status quo or trying to remain in that comfort zone, it's just killing. It is killing. It is destructive. It is not productive. It is not effective. And it's high time we snap out of it and see light, in our own world. Yeah, we talked about it being specific when you're setting those goals. We said make sure you could measure those goals. You could measure it against, a particular thing. You were probably doing certain things in time past. So when you're trying to measure it, make sure that the result you're getting is far way beyond whatever you've probably been in time past. Now, we said it has to be achievable. Make sure while it's achievable, it's also not that simple that makes you be like, okay, you're still where you used to be. We're saying, make sure it's realizable. It's, realistic. You could realize it. It's attainable. And the final one is the T, which is being time bound. You have to set a time frame for your goal. I'm not just going to sit down and say, I'm going to start a business. Yes, I'll start a business. Yes, I'll start a business. And I keep singing that as if that is what? As if that is, I don't know. It's as if it's a chorus that the choristers are going to sing. No. So I have to establish a time bound for it. Now, if I set that goals, and I'm going to say between, Motrayo mentioned, kind of touched base on that earlier. So I would say maybe the first quarter of the year, I'm looking at I should have been able to attain this. Then I'll set up, by the middle of the year, second quarter, third quarter, and I could, from time to time, review my goals and assess it. Where am I? Have I been able to achieve? What's going on? Why didn't I achieve it? What can I do better? What am I doing? Oh, maybe I need to try this. Oh, maybe I need to study more. Maybe I need to research. Maybe I need to work with individuals who have probably, worked this path before. And that's one of the beautiful things about this, our business. For those of you audience listening to us in this digital business of ours that we are so proud of, in our community, by the way, we are clocking 106,000 yet counting. We're not stopping. We're not going to stop. When we think it's just, probably we've attained, we're just re-evolving. And one of the brilliant things about this community is that we've seen individuals who've walked the path. So we have thousands of coaches. We have thousands of mentors. They've walked the path. They've experienced it. Have they seen failures? Yes, they have. Have they snapped out of failure? Yes, they have. Have they discovered better ways of doing things? Absolutely. And they're constantly bringing this into the business. What am I talking about? So why do I want to start things from the scratch when I can leverage on the power of coaches and mentorship program that is existent in this particular platform? Again, I remember I'm talking about time frame, and I'm talking about time bound. I have to be specific with that timeline. So does that mean that by the time I get to a particular time and then I try to assess my goals and I did not meet that particular goals I set, should that discourage me? No. Then I just reassess and I'll be like, okay, what am I doing wrong? What should I do better? And then I, re-evolve and go back again to the drawing board, work with whoever I can work with, and then I snap out of it. And that's my tip. And so I'll just, because I know we're kind of like we're kind of rounding things up, but I'll give my ladies 1 minute each, and I mean it, 1 minute each. Talk about this business. Because in this particular community that I am so passionate about, wake me up in the middle of the night and I'm talking to you about this, okay? And so 1 minute each, ladies, let our audience know. We talk about setting smart goals. How do we actually, put our foot front, even in this business, which constantly make us smart? We're not just working smart. We are utilizing smart goals. We are utilizing smart resources. So 1 minute from the ladies, you will hear from them, audience. In no particular order, Motunrayo, go.
Okay, thank you so much. One thing I want us to remember, audience, is that even our lives, we have to be realistic. Our lives are time bound. You can't live on earth forever. Okay? Yeah. So what are you doing with the time you have on your hands? Okay. What are you doing with that youthful energy you have right now? What are you doing when you are still strong, when you are not tired? Because I believe that by the time you retire, you are already tired. So go out there, give yourself that time frame. 5 years, 10 years. When do you see yourself retiring? Then break your goals down. Okay? That is what we do in our lovely business. We look at it that, okay, this is my life. This is what this business has to offer me. With this is what I can achieve. What is attainable? What is realistic? What is going on? Okay, now it is just left for me to snap myself out of my comfort zone and say, okay, I have 10 years, right? What do I have to go? And how do I go about it? So take that step today, because we have lovely things going on here. Your life, remember, as you're setting your goals, if you decide to sit down and look at your goals, or if you decide to work towards your goals, just remember that if you think your goals are not time bound, our lives, all our lives are time bound. And I believe you want to leave that mark, that positive mark and value for your family before you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Motunrayo. Omolara, 1 minute, please.
All right, thank you so much. I mean, like Motunrayo said, we need to have a time bound for everything. Before you do anything, set yourself, I mean, if you want to set yourself a goal, all you need to do is look at how long is it going to take you. So, and in our community, we have, like we all say, we have all these resources that can help you. you don't have to start from this crash. You are not starting from the crash. You know, when you want to start a business, it takes you time to do your research. It takes money. It takes everything away from you. But because this is a proven system, this is something that is working for everybody. You don't need so much time in your own from your own end, like you're starting afresh. You are not starting afresh, right? So if you have been doing the same thing over and over again, I mean, try to reassess yourself. State the reason why you want to achieve that goal, and just do it in the most simplest way. You are not you want to build a house. You want to build a house of 1 million, and you are earning $10. I mean, don't let me use the word $10. You want to build a house of 1 million in the next 6 months. You are earning maybe 20,000 in a month. How do you want to achieve that? So do something. Cut your coat according to your size in a way whereby you can achieve it on time. You want to achieve something of 5 years, achieve it in 1 month. Of course, it's not possible. So set yourself for success, and then do your research, do all what you can do to make yourself successful in this 2022. Thank you.
Thank you, Omolara. Thank you so much. I'm sure the audience are very appreciative of that nugget. Adebola, finally, close us out. One word to the audience.
All right. So I'm just going to advise that setting goals can also be a short-term thing. So if you are not so sure of what you want to be in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years, set short-term goals, something that will be achievable within a month. Okay, in this month, I want to get this done. The next month, you could set something else for that month. Okay, so you don't have to overthink it. You don't have to stress yourself. That's why we say make it realistic, make it easy. You could set a goal to achieve in a week, in 2 weeks, but you just bring yourself out of that comfort zone of not doing anything. All right, and I'm going to leave this with you. Challenging goals are never simply convenient, and that's the truth. Setting goals are not even convenient. It takes some time for you to, okay, how do I do it and all that. So they require some discipline to achieve. Okay, it says if it were convenient and easy, you wouldn't need to, need a goal in the first place.
That's right.
So just take that with you and do your best. But this year, there must be a change. Something new must happen with you so that by this time next year, we will have a better story to tell. Thank you.
And on that note, we will bring this particular series to an end this evening. Thank you to all our audiences, for chiming in, and for those of you who will catch up on the replay later. We appreciate you. Please let this conversation continue. Put in your thought, put in your comment. We will be glad, to receive those. And until next time, we leave you with God's blessing. And please stay tuned. Watch out for this space, because we will be bringing in very educative and interesting topic to share with you all. Thank you so much, our fans. Stay blessed, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.